5 mistakes first-time homebuyers make and how to avoid them. Guys, follow me on YouTube. Like, don't skip mortgage pre-qualifications. Don't be an idiot when you're out there viewing properties. Don't try to talk to somebody that's going to be super salesy. What you see here is what you get. And that being said, hey, I'm Ali Tunio. Tunio is my last name. I'm not Italian. That's what I get a lot, but I love Italian people. Drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below, especially Italian grandmas. Like, they just want to make you pasta and meatballs all the time. We vibe. We really vibe. Yeah, drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below. If you want to view homes in the Greater Toronto area, check out my links and we'll jump on a Zoom call and talk about your real estate case, whether you're buying, selling. Skipping mortgage pre-qualification is the most basic of the basic things that home sellers can also do wrong. Home buyers can also do wrong as well. They're basically shopping without knowing their numbers, without knowing what they can afford, where they can afford, and then it's a matter of, when they can afford, which never really comes because you don't know what the heck you're doing. If you don't get pre-qualified, if you don't know your numbers, and it's time to write that offer, you're doing nothing. Trust me, you're doing absolutely nothing except running to the bank. There are so many little steps when you are in a real estate transaction that you don't want to feel rushed. Believe me, running to the bank last minute just because you've decided on a property, once you're done buying it, you're going to feel like, oh, I think I rushed it. Avoid buyer's remorse. Next, maxing out budget and ignoring hidden costs. What freaking hidden costs? All right, I forgot. I've been doing this for such a long time. Everything's kind of like a part of my process. So there are no hidden costs as far as I'm concerned because everything is disclosed up front. Let's say you're a buyer. The hidden costs for you, property taxes, utilities, that I don't know why, but that seems to get like totally lost. There's the interest on the mortgage that you're paying as well. You need to consider. There is the land titles transfer tax that you actually have to pay. If you're buying in Toronto, you have to pay 2 of them. And if you're buying in any other city other than Toronto in the Greater Toronto area, like Brampton, Mississauga, Oakville, Milton, etc., then you're only paying 1. So there's your hidden cost. There's the fees for the lawyers, and you do not pay your real estate agent's commission, even though on the buying side, for example, myself, I'd be representing your best interests. Oh, but then you're gonna get paid more money if I pay more money for the house? Yes, I would. But that's not how it works. If you're in the industry and if you take your job seriously of representing your client's best interest, my client's best interests always come with them paying the least amount of money for their home, them having favorable terms and conditions, and them being looked after in such a way that in the event that they get committed to a real estate transaction, that it actually closes and does not put pressure on them to come up with the difference between the value of the property and what the bank is willing to finance. So that's one of the major differences of working with somebody that is experienced. Skipping home inspection, and that's actually a major one. I got to be honest about that. Even in a market where house prices were trending up and no seller was accepting any offers that came with a home inspection, there is ways to go about how to actually be satisfied from the condition of the house. There's a lot of things that can end up coming out in a home inspection that you just don't know. Even myself, like, I've been doing this for such a long time, but I'm not a home inspector. I know good home inspectors. I also know home inspectors that will not tell you the truth. I just make sure that I only recommend the home inspectors and that I can trust. And that I also encourage you to go and get your own home inspectors, because the home inspector is supposed to be working for you, finding out the flaws and the issues with the property. Now, when you find flaws in the property, how do you go about it? How do you get the seller to fix those flaws? Because you want to buy a house. Buyers like turnkey. I get it. It makes sense. Emotionally overpaying for a property. Oh my God. Out of all the freaking things, I didn't think this video is going to be exciting, but here it is. Emotionally overpaying for a property. You're a first-time home buyer. You're not a first-time home buyer, whatever the case may be. You finally stumble upon a property and boom, it's just like, you gotta have it. You gotta have it, and you start emotionally overpaying for it. Let's flip it, right? Like, where I say, oh, this property is not worth that much, why are you overpaying for it? It's gonna cost you money where you're gonna actually have to take money out of pocket, not just in terms of financing, but you're gonna have to take money out of pocket to come up with a difference, because the bank is only going to finance its actual worth. And this is what I said in my last video, where it is very important that before you make any offers on a property, that you ask your real estate agent, okay, we're making the offer price to be the list price, under the list price, above the asking price from the seller. What is the evidence that these prices are even real? This property is actually worth any of these prices? And that's a question that your buying real estate agent has to answer to you with evidence. And if they do not, find somebody else. What? That doesn't make any sense. I would not work with that person if they can't back up their claims with evidence. Show me why this property is worth $2.2 million, $4 million, $300,000. What is the evidence? Show me the comparables. And when you can't find comparables, show me comparables in different areas. What is the trend of the market, up or down? So if you went into a property and you emotionally became invested and you did the second viewing and the third viewing, and I, as your real estate agent, might as well grow horns on my head and going like, yeah, we got them. They're going to buy it. They're going to overpay. No problem. I'm going to get paid an additional $5,000, $1,000, whatever, $5,000, etc. But that deal is, I can tell you right now, 99% of the time, those deals fall apart because we have a system that will find out if the property is overpriced. If you are paying more money for that property because you just wanted to win the bidding war. There is no shame in losing a bidding war on a property if you're going to overpay way more than asking and the bank isn't even willing to fund it anyways. That deal was dead before it even got off the ground. Why? Why overpay? Never ever overpay. No matter how much you love the property and no matter how much you are envisioning the lifestyle, it's dead. It doesn't exist. So don't emotionally overpay for the property. Now that being said, if you know somebody who becomes super excited about things like I do about food almost immediately and likes to over dramatize whenever he's about to go eat something, yeah, we all have weaknesses. But if they're gonna do that with their big purchases like a car, especially vehicles, and real estate, share this video with them. I'll bring them down to reality. Remember to drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below. I tried to shoot this like 5 times, but now I'm just gonna stare at the screen. If you wanna view homes or you wanna talk about your real estate case, shoot me an email. We'll jump on a phone call. We'll talk about your case. Don't worry. And if you're watching this video on TikTok, you guys can watch the full-length video on YouTube. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.